ADHD is often labeled as a lifelong brain disorder. But what if the symptoms aren't a disorder at all? What if the symptoms are a response to stress, toxins, past experiences replaying in your present moment, all which can overload the nervous system? But the good news, responses can be changed. Everyone's experience is unique, and this isn't medical advice. This is simply a different way of understanding what might be happening in the body and mind. So, what is ADHD? I'm going to share what it was for me from my perspective because honestly, everybody's ADHD is different. No one's is the same. So, for me, I dealt with a lot of anxiety. I was easily overwhelmed. I was restless. I couldn't keep things organized or in a place. I was constantly losing things, not remembering things. I had trouble focusing. It took me forever to get something done. My emotions were all over the place. They were essentially controlling me at the time, to give you an idea of the symptoms that I was dealing with, and likely what many others are going through. Those symptoms aren't just something I've experienced. There's a lot of other people that have. But I also know that sometimes there's an extra symptom in there that somebody has that I don't. So I just want to make it known that this is not an exhaustive list. This is just what plagued me the most. ADHD is a combination of 3 root factors. The first being heavy metals. Metals like mercury, copper, and aluminum disrupt the brain. The electrical signals that are trying to go from one neurotransmitter to the next are being interrupted by these metals. They hit the metal and they go back and forth until it burns out that spot in your brain, and you essentially have an electrical storm. Welcome. Welcome to chaos. These metals can cause brain fog, poor memory, and the inability to focus. And this doesn't mean your brain is broken. It just means your brain is trying to operate with interference, right? And we all know if interference is removed, that thing operates a lot smoother. The next factor is adrenal and nervous system fatigue. When the adrenals are overworked, your brain nervous system stays on high alert. You are in fight or flight constantly, just doing your daily task. And the body was not meant to operate in that fashion. So after an extended length of time operating like that, the body starts to fatigue and drain itself of precious resources and energy. You become exhausted. And lastly, trauma and PTSD. A lot of people believe that they don't have this. Everyone is dealing with trauma and PTSD. Trauma, PTSD is anything or situation that you deal with in life that is difficult. Everybody deals with that. Trauma and PTSD often have people on a loop, a program. It's so embedded in their mind that if a similar situation to the trauma or PTSD, aka difficult situation, starts to appear in their present moment, their body, their mind will kick off that program, and they will begin to act accordingly to keep themselves safe, regardless if the situation is already safe. It's anticipation. So imagine you're doing this on a daily basis where there really is no threat, but you're living in the past when there was one. That takes immense amount of energy. It's not your fault. Your system merely adapted to keep you safe, survive, but now it's time to learn to rewrite it. When you support your adrenals, and nervous system, remove interference like heavy metals such as copper and aluminum, and build up awareness around stored trauma. ADHD symptoms can often soften or completely resolve. One of the first things you can do to support your adrenals and your nervous system is nutrition. Give the body what it needs in order to replenish those nutrients, chemicals, etc., that it has depleted from being in fight or flight constantly. It's just not a state your body should be in every day. One way you can do that is by lowering your fat intake. Lowering your fat intake allows the important nutrients that you are consuming to make it to those places far easier and faster. Imagine you're trying to get to work on time and you're on the road with a bunch of people who are just going to the mall, right? They're going to slow you down because they're taking up more space on the road. They're going to cause more traffic. It's going to take you longer to get to work. Versus if everybody who wasn't going to work just stayed the hell home. You can have a beeline to work. You get there super fast, nothing to avoid, nobody to wait on. That's what reducing fat does for your body. The next thing you can do is increase those healing foods. I'll continue on with the analogy that I've been using. You know, if you're going to work to get things done, right, and you have your whole team is going to work, the more people you have going to work, obviously the more efficient you guys are going to be, hopefully, the more you're going to get done. So increasing those healing foods, eating raw fruits and veggies or steamed fruits and veggies, or just more in general. Though in that form, they just have the most nutritional value. Eating more fruits. Like glucose is so important. And the reason why vegetables are so important is because they have those mineral salts that your body needs. Consuming herbs. A lot of the teas help regulate the nervous system. They help calm it. And wild foods like blueberries, those are great for the brain. We talked about those electrical storms earlier. Wild blueberries are great at replenishing what was used to create that storm. Hydration. You know, make sure you're drinking your lemon water, your lime water, or some type of water, coconut water, you know, cucumber juice. You know, it doesn't have to just be water. You can consume juices. Juices have live waters in them. That's why they're so, you know, when people drink them, they're like, man, that was just, I felt amazing. I felt like energized. It's like, because you just drank something living and it's in its raw form. Try to have morning meals without fat. Start your day off with just like a big ass smoothie. Now, how do we tackle those heavy metals? With a heavy metal detox smoothie. Now, the heavy metal detox smoothie has in it bananas, cilantro, wild blueberries, Atlantic dose, barley grass juice powder, and spirulina. The combination of those ingredients helps extract heavy metals from the brain and body in a way that isn't overwhelming. So it's nice and gentle and does it at a pace that the body won't feel overwhelmed by. This isn't, you know, a harsh detox. It's giving your body the ingredients it needs to gently remove those toxic heavy metals from your body within a time frame that is best for it. Healing trauma through conscious awareness. The first step would be awareness. You cannot fix a problem if you do not see the problem. Learning to watch patterns and reactions shows you what traumas, PTSD, is running your life. The next step would be non-identification with the mind and body. You are not your body. You are not your mind. You are far more than that. And once you disidentify with this is me, then it makes that observation step, that awareness, far easier. You're able to see the traumas and the PTSD loops far more clearly. And lastly, nervous system practices. Modalities like breath work, meditation, movement or exercise, energy work such as Qigong or Tai Chi, and massage all help with nervous system regulation. They also help with non-identification of the mind and building that awareness. They move the body out of survival mode and help regulate the body so that it can focus better. ADHD isn't a life sentence. These symptoms are a message to you, the being, not the body or the brain. The brain and the body are sending these messages to you, the observer, the person running the vehicle, and letting you know something is wrong. It's asking for support. When you start to address the body's physical needs, like adrenal fatigue and a nervous system fatigue, when you start to remove the heavy metals, when you start to address the trauma and PTSD, basically change your lifestyle in a way that best supports the body, those symptoms begin to shift and the body begins to heal. The body doesn't require pills and medication to heal. It could use medicine, although you might have to change your perception around what medicine is. Medicine is nutrition, lifestyle. Medicine is energy work. Medicine is mindfulness. Medicine is coming back within oneself and realizing who you are. If you want more videos breaking this down step by step, let me know in the comments. Comment your experience with ADHD, if you've gone through healing this yourself and your experience. I'd love to hear it. I know I'm not the only one. And share this video with maybe someone who's struggling with ADHD and, like me, knows that they don't have to live that way for the rest of their life, but they may be struggling to find, what to do, which direction to go in, if not the one they've been going in. Thank you for watching. Again, much love and happy healing.